Hello, and welcome to the Fear Channel, a channel with regular broadcasts telling the most chilling of urban legends, ghost stories, and forays into the darkest corners of the human mind. Those faint of heart, or prone to night terrors, should proceed at their own risk. Tonight's story is Louisiana swamps.
My buddy and I used to be amateur cryptozoologists, looking for apes throughout the United States. Didn't find anything but fox fur on our trip to New Jersey Pine Barrens, looking for the Jersey Devil. The Mount Rainier trip was also uneventful, other than fantastic cross-country skiing. But when we went to the Louisiana swamps, looking for the skunk ape, well, I don't know what we found. Really, it found us. After a few days' drive down to Louisiana, we get out near the campground. We're out in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, so we stop by a sorta diner-type place for a meal. It's super quaint and has great atmosphere, and we even meet a local sheriff. Guy was the most Alabama accent I've ever heard. We chit-chat for a bit, tell him we're cryptozoologists. Craptozoa what's, he said? I explained the term to him, and explained about missing links. Oh, y'all trying to catch Bigfoot. Y'all gonna need a mighty big cage for that, he laughed it up. We ate something called Cajun popcorn. It's not popcorn at all, more like fried fish. Later we went out to our campsite. Nobody's even remotely close to us, except for a couple in their 30s, probably just out to drink in the woods. We have a few trail cameras. Our usual thing is to go set them up, then spend a few days hiking around, trying to find footprints or droppings. Any sign of an animal that appears unusual. Dave and I spent a little while setting up camp. Since we rented a canoe, we decided to split up. My buddy takes trails on one side of the river, and I'd canoe across and take the other side. I get across the river, start setting up a cam near a spot that looks like a watering hole. I go further into the woods, find a tree with torn bark. Gorillas do stuff like that sometimes. I climb a tree, set up a trail cam, point it at the ground, chilling in a nice spot in a tree, taking a little break from hiking. That's when my phone rings. It's Dave. Yo, did you really get your cam set up that fast, Dave asks. What? I ask him. I just heard your phone ring and heard you answer, he said. There's no way, dude, I said back. I'm still out here in the middle of nowhere setting up a cam. I hop out of the tree, go to set up the last cam. On my way back to my canoe, that's when I hear Dave say, "Hey bro, give me a hand with this." Dave said that to me earlier when we were setting up camp. But there's no way Dave could have got over the river to me without a canoe. It's a serious hike to go around. I hurry up back into my canoe. It's getting kinda late, and there are all these noisy-ass frogs or toads or something. Eventually I get back to camp. Dave and I discuss what we heard. He says he heard my ringtone and my voice say, "What's up, kitten?" which is my nickname for my girlfriend. I tell him what I heard. We decide someone's parrot got loose out here. At least that's what we hope. So we start making dinner. After a while, all the frogs go quiet. Soon we see a silhouette at the edge of camp. It's the guy from the couple we saw earlier. He says he got lost. He's tired and just wants to sit down. I'm cool with it, but after a while I notice he's not acting tired. He sits real fucking still, doesn't say anything. I ask him if he's okay, if he needs any water. He says he's fine. He just starts staring at the burgers we're roasting. I offer him a burger. "No thanks," he says. At this point he looks like he's Superman trying to cook burgers with heat vision. I ask him where he got lost. "Not sure," he says. "See anything cool?" I ask. "Just trees," he says. The whole time he's just zoning out into those burgers. The guy goes quiet. Dave and I are eating the burgers, but it's awkward with this guy just chilling, watching us eat. Dave says he's got to take a leak. This weird guy gets up, says, "Oh, I'll come too," mad excited about it. Practically hops to his feet, starts to follow. At this point I know something is off. I grab my bear mace from my bag and I put it by my feet. Dave stops, looks at me, says he won't go take a leak just yet, sits back down, closer to me this time. By now we're both thinking this guy should leave, so we ask him if he's ready to head back to his camp. Guy says, "Hey Dave, want to go get some firewood?" Dave starts texting. "Look at what Gary sent me," Dave says to me, and he shows me his phone. Text open, Dave's typed, "I didn't tell this guy my name." Obviously Dave is not going to go out into the woods with this guy all by himself. I look at Dave, then I look at the bear mace. Dave sees. I get up and say, I gotta pee. This fucking guy springs up, me too. Dave grabs the bear mace and gets up. Fuck this, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get the fuck out, I start yelling loud. The guy's cool, relaxed, but awkward. I don't have to pee either, it's okay. Let's get some more firewood instead, he tries to tell us. Nah dog, get the fuck out. I get really loud. I've got a deep voice and it's super loud. I'm yelling at this guy now. Okay, let's get the fuck out, he says, like he doesn't even know what it means. By this point, I'm brandishing bear mace, and Dave and I both say, get the fuck out. Okay, bye, he says. Then he dips, cool as a cucumber, didn't bat an eye at the bear mace. It was so weird. He didn't seem that strange the first time he met him. Where was his girlfriend during all this? Is he a murderer or something? What's with his let me come piss with you act? The frogs start back up after he leaves. Didn't get much sleep after that. We're a little shook up over this. We decided we were going to get the trail cameras as soon as it was light out, and we took turns napping until the sun started to rise. In the morning we went to get the cameras across the marsh first. Canoeing is much less fun with crazy wackos out. We got the first cam, no problems. I doubt we're gonna see that guy again. But we've got bear mace handy just in case. It was a bit of a hike to the second cam. We came back to where we left the canoe, and it's gone. We gotta go around. Barely any trails, just deer runs. We're hot and sweaty. It sucks because it's gonna take all day. Now we're on edge. Dave knows he tied it. He's OCD about that kind of thing, and we're both creeped. Partway back, I spot a torn rope. This was from our canoe. Now we're seriously scared. Still gotta go back walking because there isn't a trail. The whole trip we don't really hear or see anything. We finally get to a trail, start heading towards camp. We pass that weird guy's camp. By now it's afternoon. His girlfriend was just there by herself. She calls out to us. She asks if we've seen her boyfriend. We go over to her, not sure what to say. She says he went fishing in the morning and he's still not back. Dave says we haven't seen him since last night. She's creeped out, says he was with her all night. Are they both fucking with us? Yeah, I say. He came over to our camp and started acting real weird. She's genuinely confused. Also asks about the yelling. Apparently she could hear it, but none of what she heard was anything that I had said. Your boyfriend came by, pulled a bizarro act on us. We chased him off with bear mace. You're sure you don't know anything about that? She said she knew nothing and that her boyfriend was with her all night. Dave and I got out of there real fast and started to head to the last two trail cams. By this point it's not that bright out. We're tired, we're pissed. We get the first cam. It's turned around. Great, this weird guy has ruined the whole trip. At the second cam, it's dark now. Loud-ass frogs are there like last night. We're packing up the cam by flashlight. We hear something. It sounds like a scream. We're not sure what it is. A fox maybe? Maybe an owl? That's when the frogs go all quiet. We start heading back to camp, moving quick as we can on this dark-ass trail. Pretty much single file. I keep looking back. It's like we're being followed. It's insanely quiet. No bugs, no birds, nothing. And something smells off. But Dave has pretty much no sense of smell. Not sure what I'm smelling. It smells like car fumes, fireworks. Kinda like fireworks. And wet dog. There's a noise in the woods, but it's far off and it sounds like yelling. We keep going. That's when we realize that the voice we hear screaming out in the woods sounds like me. I'm saying what I said when I was screaming at that weird guy, telling him to get the fuck out. Now it smells like car batteries and armpit. We're running by this point. Voices are calling out at us from off the trail. Sounds like me and Dave, saying the stuff we said back to us, totally out of context. Near camp, there is a massive stench. It's like a wall of barf and burnt tire, or like brakes on a train. That's when somebody pops out of the woods and grabs Dave's arm. We use the bear mace immediately. There's an awful shriek, high-pitched and painful to the ear. Whoever it is clings onto Dave. I frantically bash the guy with a flashlight, and Dave grabs his knife, cuts him, and gets loose. We haul ass to the car. We jump in and stuff all our gear in all hodgepodge. We lock the door, turn the headlights on high beams. Fuck. We gotta get the tents and shit, I say. Fuck that. I'm never going into that woods again, Dave says. But I don't want to leave behind like $1,000 worth of stuff, I say back. I ask Dave to show me his knife. There's blood on it. It's thick, almost black, like jelly. I get myself psyched up and do my best Arnold impression. If it bleeds, we can kill it. We got bear mace and a machete. Dave finally agrees to go out and get our stuff. We just cram shit in the wagon. We got lucky and nothing came after us while we grabbed everything. We get going down the road. After a while, we see someone in the middle of it. We have to slow down, but we do not stop. It's that fucking guy's girlfriend. We roll down the window to talk. She says, "My boyfriend's missing. I don't know where he is." We tell her we're leaving as fast as possible. She asks if we can help her find him. We say we'll call the sheriff. She asks if she can come with us. By this point, I start to feel a little weird. When she asked to come with us, I thought I heard two distinct voices that spoke. And she smells like the wall of vomit from back at the camp. I blast her with some of the bear mace. She lets loose the worst inhumane noise I've ever heard. She's tugging on the door handle, but I floor it. We leave that place in the mirror so fucking fast. Soon we're driving through town. It was about 1 a.m. We were getting gas before hitting the highway. Home free, I thought. I just want to get back to Jersey. Just after we pull out of the gas station, the highway patrol stops us. Thank goodness. It turns out it was just the sheriff from back at the diner. He asked us how our camping trip was, if we found Bigfoot, all joking like. We say we didn't find shit, but there were some weirdo campers. That's when he says, "Well, I wouldn't worry about anything out in that there swamp after all." He smiles at me, and then his voice drops about an octave or more and his accent changes.
"If it bleeds, we can kill it."
Then the accent comes back and he's at regular pitch. "Y'all have a safe ride home now, you hear?" We pretend not to notice and speed the whole way back home.